It's too hot to be out there, too bright to be out there. I can't be indoors. Mark's having a siesta, so I'm out here leaning on the car in the carport. I'm going to close the shutters in a minute. Um, I thought I'd make this for the people that take medication for hypertension, so tablets for blood pressure. And this was something I vaguely knew about. And then my sister confirmed it when I was talking to her the other night. She was a cardiac specialist nurse before she retired. So she knows this stuff, but she sort of confirmed something that I thought I'd read in the side effects anyway. I talked the other day about not sleeping particularly well because of the cough that I believed was a side effect of the blood pressure tablet I was taking, and it's an ACE inhibitor, and apparently it's very well known that I think my sister said we block each other when we're talking. So if I'm talking and she's talking, the sound doesn't get through, and I didn't quite hear her, but I think she says it's called ACE cough. Um, so you can't, if you've got this side effect, um, taking any ACE inhibitor is going to give you the same side effect. It's not a case of swapping to another, an easy swap. And I've taken 2 or 3 different kinds of medication for hypertension over, I don't know, 3 or 4 years. And each of them comes with side effects. All drugs come with side effects. And the first one that I took, and I can't remember the name of it, meant that I lost my sense of taste, which was a real pisser. And so I swapped to another one, and my sense of taste, not dress taste, you know what I mean. Um, my sense of taste didn't really come back. I think it's half back, but I've just had a piece of lamb and I can't taste it, and it's quite depressing. That's not. I'm not going to say it's depressing because it isn't. I'm very lucky to eat lamb, and it's not depressing. But it's a shame I can't taste it. Um, so that yeah. So the first one took my taste away. The second one, I think, caused me to be really swollen around my ankles, and I hate that. I just hate it. You know, it reminds me of old ladies I used to see when I was a kid with massive, swollen ankles and shins. So I stopped that one, and then I probably had another one. Oh, the one I stopped recently, I stopped one in around about January after my hospital admission, when somebody pointed out to me that it was probably that and my supplements that were causing my um, unquenchable thirst. And I stopped everything. I stopped all my supplements, vitamin C, vitamin D, all the other supplements I was taking for good health. And I stopped the blood pressure tablet, and the thirst dissipated. And it was amazing, not to wake up in the middle of the night feeling like I'd crawled across the desert. So I stopped that. And then I think I eventually saw my doctor because I can monitor my blood pressure. I've got a machine at home. I saw my doctor after a few weeks, and he prescribed the one that I'm on now, which is called Rampril, and it's an ACE inhibitor. And he prescribed that, and I started taking that. And think after a few days, I was aware that I thought I was getting acid reflux, and probably am a little bit. So it was just before the UK. So I went to the pharmacy and bought some not omeprazole, but something like that. I can't remember the name of it now because I bought it over the counter, but something to address the reflux. It's like you take a tablet, you get a side effect, take another tablet. It's a pain in the arse. So I went to the UK, carried on, I think, taking the Rampril. Probably didn't take the omeprazole type tablet because it wasn't making any difference. I was still getting what I thought was acid reflux and still having this coughing thing going on. Came back and then ran out about 2 weeks ago. Ran out of Rampril, which my blood pressure's not desperate, so I wasn't worried about that. And then I saw the doctor. I got another prescription, and I'd had a week without the Rampril, and he took my blood pressure whilst I was there, and it was fine for somebody obese of my age. It was fine. And when I got the prescription and started taking the Rampril again, and I'm awake, coughing. I'm losing, a little bit, not a lot, but I'm losing quite a bit of sleep, coughing. And what happens is as you relax and you completely relax, just as you're falling asleep, everything relaxes, and all around here, your trachea and your larynx and everything relaxes, and then you get something irritating you, and you cough and you start coughing. It's not a loud cough. And interestingly, Mark hasn't noticed it. So for the first time it was happening, I was getting up because I thought, oh, I don't want to disturb him. But actually, he says he's not really noticing me coughing. So it's not good. So I didn't take any yesterday. I didn't take any today. Last night I coughed a bit, not quite as much, and I'm hoping tonight that um, it'll have gone. I hope so, because it is a pain. I'm going to not take blood pressure tablets. We do the Fast 800 diet, and that is good for blood pressure. Low carbs are good for blood pressure. We've just had a meal that's the carbs. It was low carbs, so it was a lot of vegetables, celeriac um, supplying the what you feel is like the carbs you'd have with a piece of lamb. So no potatoes with it. In fact, what I've been doing is grating celeriac and then frying it, because um, fat is good for you. So I fried it in the lamb fat. And Mark, last time I did grated celeriac, thought it was special fried rice, and it is. It does look like special fried rice, and actually I can taste it. Celeriac's quite a strong taste, and actually I can taste it, and it's nice. So we had that. So we follow a lot, not all the time, but mostly the Fast 800. So mostly low carbs, which is good for keeping your blood pressure down. Intermittent fasting, so we don't eat till midday and then we stop before 9. No, we're not eating for the whole of that time, but any food that we do eat is within that time frame. Again, good for hypertension. So we're doing all the right things, and I'm thinking, if having high blood pressure, which I don't have, but if I did have, and I lose 2 or 3 years at the end of my life, well, by the time I'm 90, I'm not really going to care, am I? By the time you're 90, with all the other stuff that you've got going on, dying at 90 and dying at 93 is either neither here nor there, I think. That's my opinion. I'd rather enjoy the life I'm having now. I'm taking steroids and I don't have any choice. If I didn't take steroids, eventually I wouldn't be able to get out of bed. But there's another thing going on that we're trying to come down on those, which is at the moment is working. So yeah, spending your life taking tablets to add 3 years to your life when you're 90, and I may look unhealthy in terms of my morbid obesity, but I'm not as unhealthy as other people that are morbidly obese like me, because I am following a very healthy diet, and sometimes there's chocolate, but not all the time. I'm not sitting indoors in front of the TV eating processed food. I think that's one of the most important things, is that less than once a week we might have processed food, and I don't know what that might be, but it'll be those times when it's like, oh, I don't know, I can't be bothered, let's have this. But rarely, less than once a week we have processed food. Everything that we eat, I've made. Today's dinner I made, and tonight we'll have homemade coleslaw, salad. I'm going to pick some purslane here from out the front, not from out the back, because obviously the animals have. I know that we get animals through here. I should wash it properly, but I'm going to harvest. It's called, not pick it. Harvest some purslane. There's a bit out here, and have that in the salad. I do a salad, coleslaw, and prawns. King prawns, tiger prawns, big ones, big prawns. So yeah, there we are. I thought that might be helpful for people that don't know why they're coughing, or that, yeah, maybe they do know, or maybe they hadn't realised. So I thought that might be helpful. And that's it really. And now I'm going to go and close the shutters, because I've got a foot in the sun and it is burning.